Hi, my name's Meredith Brady, and I just wanted to show you some examples of how I use blended learning techniques to increase engagement in my science classroom. For the seventh grade curriculum, it can get a little tricky because some of the topics are hard to teach students. I don't want to just lecture them and give them facts to memorize. I want them to be able to experience or participate in hands-on activities to help them actually learn the material themselves because they'll learn it better. Two particular topics that we had struggled with finding hands-on activities in the past was gravity and the layers of the earth. But using blended learning techniques, we've been able to increase engagement and really increase the chance for students to have a hands-on experience with these two things. So I wanted to show you here, I have my Canvas course. This is the platform I use for all technology use. All of my quizzes and homework and class activities that we use computers for are on here. So when teaching gravity, what we normally do is we'll spend a day watching some videos and kind of get the kids thinking about what variables affect gravity. And then the second day, I'll do a station day. I usually have 2 to 3 stations. The first station is in the back of the classroom with me, where I run a teacher demo and a discussion with a small group of students, usually half or 1/3 of the class. And it's really helpful because I can literally show them how Einstein's theory of gravity works because they are not familiar with it before they come to 7th grade. And then after we've had this discussion and I have shown them how it works a little bit, but they haven't really had a chance to manipulate it yet, I send them back to their desk and they get on the computers for rotation 2, which is a gravity simulation. Now, normally I have 2 gravity simulations, but unfortunately PhET is not working because Flash Player no longer works. So I'm just going to show you one of the simulations we use, which students really enjoy because it does give them a very hands-on experience with Einstein's theory of gravity. So the page on Canvas looks like this, and I just ask the students to try and create these types of things in their simulation. The ones at the bottom, the last 2, they may not know themselves what they are. The other simulation, unfortunately, taught them what those were, and then they try to recreate them themselves in this simulation. So I'll take you into this simulation, show you kind of what it looks like. So it's just a computer program, and it's really fun because it literally allows them to create objects that have mass. So they just click in the middle of their screen and they can create an object with mass. And then I can create smaller objects and make them move, which can show students how orbits work. And you can kind of see the warping of space-time with these simulations, which is really interesting. And here on the side, it kind of talks them through what they're seeing, which I think is really helpful for the students. Not only can they kind of figure out how to make some of these simulations work, how to create a sun with a planet, but they can also learn scientific terms for what they've created. Students really enjoy this, and I enjoy it because it gives them that firsthand experience of how mass and distance affect gravity. The second example I wanted to show you is actually in our geology unit. So we teach them about the rock cycle and types of rocks, but they have to also learn about the composition of the earth and the layers of the earth, which is not something they can physically experience. Sure, they come into contact with the crust every day, but they can't come in contact with the mantle or the core. So I do this activity right here. It's the second one called Earth Layers. So I give students a worksheet that they use, and the worksheet walks them through each layer of the earth and asks them some questions. Some of them are really easy questions where I've actually given them the answer in some of these links, and other ones require a little more critical thinking. And I give the students the worksheet, I give them the link to this thing link, and I let them work at their own pace to learn the material. So this is just an image of the layers of the earth, and then each of these little black links I added. So this one represents a picture. This is just showing them the chemical composition of the crust. If you see a book, that represents a reading for them. So I don't put much in these readings, just a few paragraphs. I really love too, though, for my students who are maybe at a lower level, there's an immersive reader button. So they can click here, and with headphones, it will read aloud to them and highlight the words as it reads them. So it's a really good practice for English language learners or students with reading disabilities. And you can also embed videos so the students can watch. So I just tell the students they can work at their own pace. They can start wherever they want to, but they just have to finish the worksheet and learn about each of these 4 layers of the earth. Overall, I just wanted to share these things because I really do feel like blended learning techniques like rotations or like the Thing Link can really help increase student engagement, which in turn increases student learning.